To answer a source question, you need to be looking at the content and the provenance of the source. Provenance is just a posh word for the source's background, so its origin, where it's from, its purpose, and the nature of the source. So first thing we need to do is we're going to look at the content. What can we actually see in the source, and why is that useful using our own knowledge? So I can see a barber surgeon clearly. And I know it's a barber surgeon because I've read the source description underneath where it says a print from the 1400s showing a barber surgeon. He's clearly carrying out some kind of amputation. Which was a common surgery at this time period. So I'm now going to read this description more carefully. This is the provenance. This is where it's from. A print from the 1400s. So the 1400s we know is at the end of our medieval period. And it's showing a barber surgeon carrying out an amputation. This picture was printed in a popular book on surgery that was widely read. Now, it's a popular book that's widely read. Why is it popular? Maybe it's because it's teaching others about surgery. Now that we've looked at the content and the provenance of the source, we need to be explaining why it's useful to a historian studying this time period. So from my own knowledge, I know that barber surgeons, they were the ones that would typically be carrying out this type of surgery. This was because there were very few medically trained doctors available and they would often be expensive. So, commonly carried out surgery as doctors were expensive. They're performing an amputation. Now again, from my own knowledge, I know that amputations was a very common type of treatment. And this source shows that they had a very natural approach to medicine by performing the amputation. Now we'll look at the provenance again. So a print from the 1400s, which we now know is the end of the medieval period. So this is a good representation of what's happening at the time. As the source was made during this time, obviously it's going to tell us about what is happening at that time period it was produced in. Also, the book is teaching others about surgery. Who would it have been most useful to? It's going to be most useful to barber surgeons because they don't have the training that other doctors do. Now that we've analysed the source, we need to start thinking about constructing our answer. Now the source question, it's out of 8 marks, so we need to write 2 Peel paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is going to be looking at the content of the source. What can you actually see in the picture? Paragraph 2 is going to be about the provenance of the source, where it's from, the origin, and its purpose. Now to write our Peel paragraphs, we're going to use the standard sentence starters we always use. Number 1, source A is useful because it shows. What can you physically see in the picture? You can see barber surgeons, you can see them performing an amputation. You then need to tell me what this suggests about surgery or about medicine in medieval times. From my own knowledge, you then need to include your own contextual knowledge to back up what you can see in the source. We've already done that on our annotation. So we can see barber surgeons, and we know from our own knowledge that barber surgeons commonly carried out surgery as doctors were too expensive at this time period. Therefore, your last sentence starter, you need to link it back to the question. So therefore, source A is useful to a historian. Remember, you need to write two Peel paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is the content of the source, what can you see? Paragraph 2 is going to be about the provenance of the source, where it's from, what its purpose was.